The countdown is on, fellas. It's right around the corner. Literally, just go down the corner, take a sharp turn to the right, and FC25 will be looking you dead in your eyes saying, why would you do this? Why would you buy me again? Why would you put yourself through this misery? And it's really because of the lack of competition. It's the most anticipated football game of the year because nobody's competing with it. Of course, you have the UFL, which was supposed to come out in 2022 and then got pushed back to 2023 and then got postponed to 2024. And even during 2024, it got pushed back a few more months to December, where it'll probably get pushed back again. We might unironically get GTA 6 before we get UFL, like not even a joke. And of course, there's the FIFA franchise, which is no longer owned by EA. That's why it has to be called eafc 25 instead of FIFA 25. But who knows when that'll actually come out, if it does. And you have PES, but PES in 2024. Konami doesn't really have much going on anymore. So for better or for worse, we're left with FC 25. And the first couple of weeks of the game are definitely the most fun because the meta isn't being abused in the game yet because it hasn't been found yet. Hopefully, there's no broken mechanics that early in the game. And then trading on the market is also more fun because you're really starting from nothing, building from scratch. The market is still healthy. We haven't been flooded with 200 different card types and 14 promos by the second month yet. And gold cards are still usable, which hopefully that era of FC25 lasts longer than it did in FC24 because I felt like gold cards were already out of the power curve by the first couple of weeks of FC24, when in previous years, it was a lot healthier. You had gold cards last much longer. Even if it was just Furlan Mendy's overpowered left back card, it was something. This year, it was really just Mbappe, and even then, he would have so many special cards and SBCs that kind of flooded out all of the other versions of Mbappe by the time February came around, and that's for the most overpowered card in the game. Not even just random gold cards that you want to use in your starter team. So starter teams don't really exist as much anymore, and I hope that they do this year because I don't want the power curve to take over super early. I want gold cards to be usable. Now, on the 18th of September, the web app is releasing. But I'll be honest, the web app isn't that exciting. Because once we get the web app, we don't actually have much to do. You can't play games to make coins, and you can't really trade yet because you don't have very much stuff on the market. The only people who have the game at this point are people who got the Ultimate Edition early, and that would be the EA Creator Network, the Game Changers, the Golden Boys, or somehow somebody got like their hands on a digital version early. You work at GameStop or something, right? And even then, I think that they're doing things to crack down on that where you can't even log in unless you're like an approved account by EA. So it's really not going to happen. There's not going to be much on the market, and the cards you do see on the market are all going to be cards that Bateson has packed from his 10 million FC points before anybody else has the actual game. So realistically, the web app is going to be exciting for a little bit, but after a couple hours, you're going to realize, I can't really do much. And even the companion app release isn't going to save it because that's just the web app but on your phone. But Team of the Week releases on the 18th of September, which means that some of Team of the Week 1, even though it is out in the first week where there's going to be a lot of FC points open, those cards get rare as the game goes on because it's the first Team of the Week. And so by the time November rolls around with Black Friday, a lot of those Team of the Week 1 cards are much more expensive than they were on the first couple of days. It's a long-term investment, but to be quite honest with you, there's a lot of better cards that you guys can get instead of Team of the Week 1 cards that are going to make you coins quicker. And those gold cards, those metas, I'm going to go over in a video this week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel right now so you don't miss out on that video or any of the Trading to Glory, which is the #1 trading series here on YouTube, so you guys can make coins from scratch as well. I don't want you spending any extra money on FC points when we can make those coins off the market. So make sure to hit that sub button. That part is completely free. The $100 that you're going to spend on FC points is not. Let me be the alternative and hit that sub button. But the 19th of September is really when the floodgates open, and it'll be later in the day on the 19th of September. You'll see the New Zealand flag there, and that is not a mistake, okay? If you're on Xbox, you can actually use a trick, which is called the New Zealand trick, to get the game a few hours early. And here's what it is. If you go on to New Zealand on your location for your Xbox, it'll detect that you're in New Zealand, which means that you can play the game when it turns September 20th in New Zealand. And they're one of the most far ahead time zones in the world. I think Kiribati is actually the farthest ahead, but I'm not sure you can actually set your location to Kiribati. You might be able to, but I think you just get it at the same time as New Zealand. Either way, if you set it to New Zealand, especially if you live somewhere like California or Hawaii, which are one of the latest time zones to turn September 20th, then you're saving almost, 20 hours of the day to where you can play the game early. And this only works on Xbox. So here's the instructions. Go to the settings menu on your Xbox, go to System, select the language and location option, change the location to New Zealand, restart the Xbox, and then you can launch the game once it turns midnight on September 20th in New Zealand, and you'll be able to play the game. And that's been working for the past few years. I'll assume that it works again this year. But if you take a look at the more illustrated version of this calendar, which shout out to Foot Mentor for making this graphic. Foot Mentor, I'll leave his link down in the description. He always makes really cool graphics that he puts out on Twitter like these. We're going to get the icon official reveal tomorrow. All right. And by the time you're watching it, it might have already happened. But we already know all of the icons. We already know all their ratings. We already know the ratings of every single card in the game because they've been leaked. So these official reveals aren't all that exciting anymore because everything gets leaked. And that's the same thing for pretty much all the promos that are going to happen this year. In fact, we already have the card design for Futmas. That promo is in December. And we already have the card design. You can check out my last video if you want to see all of the leaks we have for evolutions, promos. I dropped it all in the last video. Today, let's get back on topic, though, because once the 19th comes around and people are getting the game in New Zealand, then you're going to start to see the market go up. It's going to get active. Firstly, you're going to see more cards in the market, but secondly, you're going to see cards go up in price very quickly. Early on, cards are going to be cheaper because not very many people have coins. And when you don't have coins, you don't have buying power. When you don't have buying power, prices are low. But when people get coins from opening their FC points from the Ultimate Edition, when they get coins from trading, cards are going to go up in price very quickly. So over the course of the 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, you're going to see cards skyrocket in price very, very quickly. These cards are going to be very cheap on the 19th and 20th, and then they're going to go up over the weekend. They'll probably continue to rise up until about September 30th or a little bit before then, and that's when you're going to want to sell. But if you can get your investments early, that means you open your FC points as fast as possible. You don't waste any of your coins. You make sure you get every bit of value out of the cards you pack, and then you make the right investments in the correct meta cards. You could double or triple your coins just like that. So that's something that we're going to be focusing on this channel. Now, if you don't have the Ultimate Edition, what I would suggest, go out and get EA Play because you're going to get 10 hours to play the game early, but you do have to spend $5 on that. One trick I do know is if you buy EA Play and then you refund it before your month is up, you can actually get your money back. And I'd feel bad about doing that because it feels like stealing. But it's EA that gets the money. And how much stealing have they really done to our wallets over the course of the last few years? It's just a little bit of get back at this point. So that's a trick for EA Play. If you actually refund it before your month is up, you get your $5 back. So it's like a free 10 hours for anybody who doesn't have the Ultimate Edition. Then we also have Origin Heroes, which is coming out on the 20th. So we've got Team of the Week 1 on the 18th. We have Origin Heroes on the 20th, which means that we've got a bunch of special cards and packs already. Which isn't ideal. I mean, we literally have a promo before the standard edition releases, and that promo not only is before the standard edition releases, but that promo ends before the standard edition comes out. And then we have our first, I guess, real FC25 promo. Normally that's ones to watch, but last year it wasn't. Ones to watch wasn't a thing. So it'll be interesting to see what the first FC25 promo is. I'm sure we'll get leaks for that within probably the next week or so. So I wouldn't be, you don't have to wait till the 27th to know what that promo is going to end up being. So these are the most important dates that we have for FC24 so far, and that's all I really wanted to cover in today's video. We're not going to go too deep into the trading aspect of these days until we get a little bit closer, but I am going to cover our best investments early on for cards to look out for in terms of how meta they are, how high rated they are, and which are going to have the biggest percent of increase in rise over the course of the first few days, so that when you do get the full release of the game, you know which cards that you want to go out and buy as fast as you possibly can. Anyways, guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.